Those of you guys who are young, you're ambitious, and you actually want to make something of yourself, I'm gonna share with you guys the 6 principles that I followed that took me from delivering pizza, literally getting $3 tips per house, to buying my dream car at 21 years old. Now, you guys know I'm not here to flex. I'm not here to show off. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to show you what's actually possible. I hit my first $20,000 month at 21 years old. Actually, let alone this week, I just hit a $20,000 week. And these same principles that I'm about to teach you and show you not only got me to maintaining $20,000 a month, but also taking me even further to scale and have that $20,000 a week. And I want you guys to know that this isn't normal, at this age. No matter how much social media wants to make you think that if you're not 19 with 2 dream cars and a penthouse with 100K in the bank, that you're useless, right? You're just a loser. Like, I want you to know this isn't normal. It takes a certain mindset, a certain individual to be able to do that. And I want you guys to know that the whole point of this video, I'm no different than any of you. Most people my age, they're still figuring out what they even want to do with their lives, whether they're kind of just coasting through college, whether they're figuring out what kind of career they want to get into. Most people don't even know what they want to do yet. But I'm telling you guys, these 6 principles is literally what changed everything for me that I follow. This isn't about just making money. This is about building character, staying grounded, and creating real success that actually lasts. Because I'm telling you, anyone can go and get lucky once. Anyone can go and crack a lucky $10,000 month or a good week or whatever it may be. But building something actually sustainable like this takes following real principles. And before I jump in, I know a lot of you guys have been asking for more content kind of centered around the mindset and like what it really takes to build and also sustain and grow a business like this. Principle 1, I want you guys to embrace being the underdog, being misunderstood, being doubted. I want you guys to actually embrace that. You guys don't understand. When I was delivering pizza, I can't even tell you how much I was doubted, how much I was overlooked. I was literally this dude who dropped out of college, was delivering pizza. No one had a reason to listen to me. I had no credibility. I couldn't stand walking up to a house, ringing the doorbell, and just hearing one of the family members yell, "Pizza guy's here, someone go get the door." That literally drove me insane. And I literally felt invisible. I'm handing these pizzas, not the judge, but these people who are just like sloppy. They don't take care of themselves, and they're looking at me like I'm nothing when I'm handing them their pizzas. This lit a fire in me stronger than no other. I couldn't stand living this reality any longer. I genuinely couldn't stand it, and I couldn't do it anymore. And you guys need to understand that your family doubting you, your friends doubting you, whatever it may be. I heard one quote that completely changed my life from my first mentor. He said, "Jake, don't listen to the people closest to you, listen to the people closest to your goals." That changed everything for me, because it's like, here I am trying to validate my goals and my dreams to my family, friends. These are the closest people to me in my life, but they're the furthest people away from my goals. They don't understand what I'm trying to do. They've never met someone or had someone in their life, or even themselves. They've never, ran a successful coaching business. So why the hell am I going to sit there and listen to what they have to say? Obviously, they're not going to think it's possible. They've never done it. They don't know anyone who's done it. And I see this so often with especially the younger guys. They're so quick to let the people around them talk them out of their goals. And it's the worst thing that can happen. And I want you to understand, I don't care what kind of limitations or excuses you have for yourself, whether it's your age, your background, where you live, whatever it may be. I'm telling you, if you want something bad enough, you are the only one who can go and get it. The more and more you sit there and you become a victim to your circumstances and you just like cope and make all these excuses, you're not going to go anywhere. This needs to be your motivation and your drive to literally outwork everyone else, because I promise you, obsession, hard work, discipline, consistency, it will outwork talent every single time. I don't care how talented someone is. If you do more reps, if you show up more, if you're obsessed, you will go way farther than they ever will. So I'm telling you guys, don't try to skip the struggle. Embrace what you're going through, because this is what's going to mold you into the man capable of having everything you want. And you know what? When you have to fight that much harder for something, when you have to struggle that much harder and that much longer for something, you're gonna be able to actually keep it when it comes, because you're gonna know exactly how to sustain it. And the harder you had to work for something, the more struggle you had to go through to get it, the more worth having it's gonna be, and the more you're actually gonna appreciate it. So that leads me to principle number 2, carry yourself well. How you carry yourself and your appearance is everything. The way that you show your presence and your confidence around others and the way you carry yourself, especially when you're the underdog, that's going to literally determine everything. Here's the thing, when you're young, it's going to be a lot easier to be overlooked. People aren't going to take you as serious. They're going to overlook you. They're going to doubt you. This is why the way you carry yourself and your presence is going to mean so much. You have to walk into a room like you belong there. You have to be confident. And the only way to get to this level of confidence, this is why the gym made me into the man I am. The gym gave me confidence that nothing else could. That feeling of just getting in the gym every day, slowly progressing, building my mind, building discipline, keeping the promises I made to myself. That's what mattered. The more and more wins I stacked up every day and the more and more promises I kept to myself, the more and more confident I was in any room I walked into. You may lack confidence. It's a clear reflection of your personal development. If you're not constantly progressing and you're not constantly getting after it and you're not constantly working and keeping the promises that you make to yourself and being congruent to the man you want to become, you're not going to have confidence anywhere, any room you walk into. And it was the same thing, when I started my business with taking these sales calls with potential clients, right? You're going to have to, in a way, prove yourself a lot more to these people. And honestly, building a business is what matured me so much faster, especially with sales. Because when you build a business, especially at this young of an age, you got to grow up pretty fast because you cannot be immature. You need confidence. You need to be masculine. People need to be able to look up to you and know that you can take care of them. You can help them as a coach. You can lead them. And it's the same way that I walked into the pizza shop. And that's what the gym did for me because I knew the work that I was putting in on the outside. I knew the promises I was keeping to myself. I knew the way I was building my body and building my mind and truly developing as a man. I walked into that job and I wasn't down on myself. I wasn't slouched over, head down. No, I walked in the place with confidence because I knew that job wasn't going to define me. I knew that the work I was putting in outside of that job was eventually going to pay off. And this wasn't my reality. This wasn't how my life was going to stay. It was only a matter of time because I knew I was building something so much bigger, so much greater. And here's the thing with confidence. Confidence isn't believing that you're better than everyone else. It's about being able to walk in a room and knowing that you belong there, even when other people may not think so. I'm telling you guys, when you speak with conviction. When you speak to someone else, look them in the eye. When you're talking to the camera, look into the camera, not just the screen. I mean what I'm saying. So I want you guys to know your presence is the first impression that anyone will ever have on you. So make it count. And that leads me to principle 3. Find something that humbles you. Here's the thing that I didn't understand and I had to learn the hard way. When you start making money, especially you start making it fast at a young age, it can fuel your ego. It can bring out the worst in you and it will humble you. There was a time in my entrepreneurship journey where I walked away from God. I chased the money. I made the business my idol. I chased the money. I wanted to buy this car for the status and it made me feel good, right? I wanted people to look at me in a certain way. And I realized that just led to my own destruction. Because without God, you're nothing. I promise you guys. And it's a very humbling point to get to where you think you have it all figured out. Everything's going so well. You're making more and more money. It's fueling your ego. Eventually that'll humble you because eventually, as fast as you made that money, it can be taken away from you. Nothing's guaranteed in business. There's good months, there's bad months. If you're putting all of your trust into your financials and not God, it's going to destroy you every single time. And I've seen this with so many young entrepreneurs. They fall right into that trap, chasing the lifestyle, trying to compete with everyone, chasing the money, chasing all this material. Listen, these are great blessings and they're amazing blessings from God. Like I love my car and it's a great blessing. I love driving it. It's a reflection of my hard work, but I wouldn't trade this car over my faith. I wouldn't trade this car over my relationship with God. And I see it so often, all these young kids chasing this, and it absolutely destroys them. Because what they don't realize is entrepreneurship itself, it will put you into this whole rat race apart from the 9 to 5. And one of the biggest things that humbled me, the gym taught me all the principles I needed to know to stay grounded and stay humble, especially with business. Because when I walk into the gym, the weights don't care about how much money's in my bank account. The weights are gonna beat me up every day and I have to go in there every single day and work my ass off. like I'm back at square one. I want to treat every day in business the same as when I was first starting. It's very easy to let the money get to your head and then you get complacent and you stop working as hard. And here's the thing with the gym. I've understood that if I'm not on top of every other area of my life, if I'm not working hard in the gym, if I'm not on top of my diet and my personal development, that's going to reflect in every other area of my life. The more I'm on top of the gym, my physique, and my nutrition, and my relationship with God, and all these other aspects, it translates into every area of my life. I'm a big believer of how you do one thing is how you do everything. The gym taught me more discipline than my business ever could have because there's no shortcuts. The day you get into the gym, you're not good at it. It's uncomfortable. It doesn't feel right. You're scared to get judged, right? You look stupid at first. That's the same way with business. It's not overnight. You're not going to be good at it at first. You're going to get made fun of. People aren't going to understand what you're doing. The gym taught me everything I needed to build a business, the delayed gratification, the discipline, the showing up when it gets hard, continuing to push through, showing up every single day, doing the same thing day in and day out without seeing that immediate result. That's what the gym taught me, and that translated into me actually being able to build this business. And here's the thing, business itself is humbling too. The market doesn't care how confident you are. It doesn't care how old you are. If your content isn't providing value and you're not serving your clients well, the market's gonna humble you fast. Because here's the thing, good marketing can only take you so far. If you're not actually taking care of the clients inside of your coaching and you're not building relationship with them, you're not taking care of them, you're not giving them what they paid for, right? And you're not selling the experience of coaching, your marketing can only take you so far because eventually word's going to get around that you don't have a good product, right? Your business doesn't grow without the results you get for other people. And here's why you need something external to keep you grounded. Like for me, my faith is because when business is good, you're making all this money, everything's so great, it's very easy to get in your own head and feel as if you can't fail. Feel as if, there's no possible way that things can go bad, right? And this is when destruction can be right around the corner. And that's exactly when you'll stop doing the things that made you successful in the first place. Because your ego will take over and you think you have it all figured out. And that's one thing I stand by is I do the same things, the same habits every day that built my business now, the same way I used to live with my personal development, that never changed with this business, because the same things, the same principles that built my business are the same things that continue to run it, and not only run it, but continue to scale it. Find something, whether it's the gym, a sport, a hobby, whatever it may be, find something that reminds you you're not special. You still have to earn everything that you get because that's going to keep you humble, that's going to keep you grounded. Principle 4, be extremely selective with your relationships, business and personal. And here's the thing, when you're young and ambitious, you can be a target. There's going to be good people that come into your life that actually want to help you, but there can be bad people as well. I've seen how fast people change and they switch up when you get some sort of proof, when you get some kind of success. And a lot of people can leech onto that and their intentions may not be very good. On the personal side, Blake, the love of my life, I met her after November 3rd, 2023, when I was reborn, and she was the woman I prayed for. She was the woman who came into my life. She never cared about, what kind of car I drove. She never cared about the money I was making or that I delivered pizza. She genuinely just loved me for who I was and constantly pushed me, constantly made me a better man. She wasn't a distraction. She didn't take away from my life and bring me down. She only pushed me to my highest potential. She's one of the biggest reasons I even went to build this business in the first place, because I was tired of not being able to afford dinners comfortably, not being able to buy her the things I wanted to, right? Just not being able to be the man that she actually deserved. And it drove me over the edge. But here's something I want you to understand. Don't waste your years trying to look for this. Don't waste your years trying to just find someone to build a life with. I'm telling you, it's going to come naturally and it's going to come at the right time. But until you get that, continue to focus on your personal development. Continue to focus on building yourself up as a man and becoming the man that God has called you to be. And I promise you, at the right time, He will send the right woman to help build you. As far as the business side, I've met tons of great dudes in the space. You do have to be careful because a lot of people don't really want your real success, but I've been blessed to meet some really good mentors and some really good guys kind of doing the same thing as me. And here's the thing, you got to protect your energy and you got to protect your time. If someone wants a relationship with you where it's only value-based and value exchanges, they're probably not the right person for you. You need people in your life who are willing to literally do anything for you and be by your side no matter what, no matter of what they get in exchange. Principle number 5, understand that success is a test. If you can't handle it, it will be taken away from you. And here's the thing a lot of people don't realize when you're young. Making your first 10K, 20K, 50K, whatever it may be, this isn't the end of the road. It's a constant progression. The game doesn't stop. You constantly should be striving to keep improving. There's no final destination. This is a road of personal development and constant progress. The real challenge isn't making money once and having a good month. No, the real challenge is not only maintaining that and be able to do it over and over again, but being able to even grow and scale on top of that. That's where the challenge starts. That's where things get hard. It's maintaining the discipline that got you there, even when you have no reason to grow, even when your bills are taken care of and you can make purchases more comfortably. It's getting in that mindset of being like, I still want to grow. I still want more. That takes a different type of mindset. I've seen guys make a little bit of money and then instantly start living like they made it. Instantly start trying to get flashy and show all these things as if they're making so much money than they actually are. And this is where it gets dangerous. They stop doing the things that actually made them successful and they start showing more than they're actually working. I'm telling you guys, the best thing you can do, stay hungry, stay disciplined, and keep doing the things that got you to where you are. Stay true to who you were before you had the money. Always remember where you came from and who stuck with you even when you had nothing. Continue to do the things that got you to where you are, because that's your base. Stay grounded within that. It's very easy to get egotistical and get lazy and take shortcuts and everything will fall apart. Principle 6, and this is the biggest one, put God first. I promise you everything else is temporary. Everything you think you want on this earth, whether it's money, material, whatever it is, you don't take any of that stuff with you when you leave. I know that not everyone watching this shares my faith, and that's okay. I'm speaking on this because it's the foundation of everything else I've talked about. So here's where the transformation happened. November 3rd, 2023, I'll never forget a Friday night. I came home from a long shift of delivering pizza, raining, I was wet, and got inside and I don't know what it was, but I decided to watch a video on YouTube, basically of Jesus's life, just breaking down everything he went through and the way that he lived. When I got through the end of that video, it pierced my heart. And this was a point in my life where I was backsliding, doing old habits, going back to old ways, and I wasn't happy. And after watching this video, I fully broke down. I was like, Lord, like I can't do this anymore. I'm done being in control. I don't have it all figured out. I surrender. And I told him to take the wheel. It felt like the whole world was lifted off of my shoulders. 3 weeks later, that's when I met Blake and I launched my business. $200 to my name, I took on a 5K loan. It was this pressure, it was this fire of like survival mode. I had no other option but to make this work. And the first night I launched my coaching, I made $650. And then 2 days later, I made a $450 sale while I was delivering a pizza. And I had just made over $1,000 in 3 days, which was more than I was making in a month. And that's when my whole reality changed. Every limiting belief that I'd ever had in my mind was just shattered. I knew my life was completely changed forever and I was gonna be able to quit this job, and I was most importantly gonna be able to take care of the woman I love and my family. The reason I'm saying all this is because everything changed when I got my relationship with God right. Here's what I want you guys to understand. You can chase the money, you can chase status, you can chase success, you can chase the cars, you can chase the material. But if you don't have God, none of it means anything, because none of those things will ever truly satisfy your heart. None of those things will ever truly satisfy the God-sized hole that everyone has in their heart. You can't try to fill your heart with those things because it's never going to work. I know guys making millions who are just absolutely miserable with their life. They don't have God. They don't have anything to fill it with. When you have God as your foundation, everything else falls into the place. The money comes as a tool, not just for your own selfish ambition, but to serve others. The success isn't to just show off. When you put God first, he blesses you with things that actually matter. Listen, I'm not here to preach to you or to force my beliefs onto you. That's not what I'm doing at all. I'm mainly just speaking from experience and showing you guys the way God impacted my life, because everything I have is from him. I wouldn't have everything I have right now if it wasn't for God and if it wasn't for me truly surrendering to him. And if you want to sleep peacefully at night knowing that you're living the right way, put God first. So following these 6 principles that took me from delivering pizza to living my dream life at 21 years old: embrace being the underdog, carry yourself well, find something that humbles you, be selective with your relationships, understand that success is a test, and most importantly, put God first. I'm sharing these things because I wish someone would have told me these things when I was just starting. I wish someone could have showed me how to build success while staying grounded, while honoring God. I had to learn on my own by going out and chasing these things that I realized didn't actually matter. And here's the most important thing: you don't have to sacrifice your values to make money. Those struggles are preparing you for the success that is coming your way. Stay disciplined, stay humble, stay faithful. Your time is coming. If this resonated with you, drop a comment and let me know which principle helped you guys the most. And if you guys want more content like this, be sure to subscribe. I'm going to be dropping a lot more, going in depth on my mindset and the reality behind the success and the life that God has helped me build. Thank you guys for watching. Always much appreciated. I love you guys. Remember, you have everything you need to succeed. Now it's time to just go make it happen.